So maybe it was just a different time. Maybe you were expected to do things that you're not typically expected to do in games anymore, and I've just been retrained not to do them. That could be the issue.
Could be.
It's the way you're trained to play your games these days.
But I think it's a conversation that we definitely need to go back to about how games have kind of programmed us to think certain ways. Kind of how so many games have taken an idea and ran with it so far that when it breaks that idea, it either feels refreshing, even if it's old school, or it doesn't feel quite right anymore. It's kind of like the whole debate about pickups versus automatic health regeneration.
I understand the debate. There is a place for both, though, I think. Mm-hmm. I think there's a place for automatic health regeneration just as much as there's a place for health pickups. I think any game that has a save file that happens in the middle level should probably have a health regeneration system. Because nobody... I remember playing games that didn't, and when I would get to that checkpoint, if I didn't have a certain amount of health, I would feel like I was handicapping myself through the rest of the level.
Mm-hmm.
So I would avoid saving. And then I sometimes I might even restart the level. And I always felt like that was unfortunate.
A lot of PC games, that wasn't such a bad thing because it would often save multiple files for each quick save. Because I remember back in the day playing Half-Life. This is exactly the sort of problem that I could see happening on a console version of it. To have a single save file and getting stuck at low health somewhere, I could see that being very annoying.
Yes.
So I see where you're coming from there.
An extremely frustrating thing. I remember the RPGs that if you saved in a certain... better make sure you had decent health on your characters or decent amounts of magic. Or an item that can, restore one or both.
Or teleport you somewhere that you can, as a last resort.
Yes, I have actually messed myself up not paying attention to those things in games before, and then found out that I had to restart an entire section, if not the whole game.
I don't think that's terribly uncommon either. It's part of the gaming experience, though.
It wasn't back. Yeah, well, it's part of the gaming experience that doesn't exist to a large extent anymore.
Very true. A lot of gaming companies are trying to pander a little bit to the casual crowd, and in a way, like we talked about with Flower earlier, there's kind of a place for that.
Yes, that's one of the terms, casual versus hardcore, that I don't like the way it's mostly used, but we'll save that one for another time.
Oh yes, that's a very deep subject, and I'm sure we could get all up in Zynga. I know you don't play a lot of Facebook games, but...
Yes, I actually don't play very many. I don't play any Facebook games.
I don't consider myself easily addicted to a game, but if those games did not kill 6 hours of my day once upon a time, and that's a bad thing. That's a very bad thing. So that being said, I think we're getting near on our time, at least for our inaugurative. I'm still not sure if this is a proper word, inaugural?
Our first ever.
Our origin episode. Actually, no, that'll save for down the road. Probably after the Nemesis episode. We'll see.
You can't do an origin episode first. That doesn't make sense.
No. You got to introduce the characters first.
Yeah. Doing what they normally do.
And hopefully we've done a little bit of that to at least prove that we've got our gaming chops. We may not be experts of anything. We're not exactly speedrunners. We're not exactly tournament players. We're not even really commentators of any kind, but we have opinions, we have interests, and I think it's kind of fair to share them, because that's what everybody else does. So if you enjoy, we appreciate that. That is what we're going after. We're trying to have fun. We're trying to extend our fun to you and see if any of our conversations can actually spring up other people to share their opinions and conversations about the subjects we've discussed today. And we've kind of been on the light side, but we'll probably get in a little more in-depth into specific games and specific genres and specific issues and more topical topics.
Tropical topical while drinking some fruit punch. In future episodes, we'll probably be more focused on specific topics instead of going off on wild tangents, although you should expect a tangent or two here and there.
Oh, yes, many tangents.
Many tangents.
And brain farts.
This was more of a, and brain farts, definitely. We can edit those out if we want to. They're kind of neat though, so we might leave them in there.
We have to prove that we're human.
Yeah, we're not robots. We're not scripted.
And hopefully a lot of our technical problems will be cured. This is the first time I'm running a lot of this software, but we'll see how much edits out, and we'll see how much ends up staying in. And yeah, we're going to attempt to do this once a week for an hour show. Now, these may get split up, and I'll edit this out if this is the case, that we'll maybe putting these in 15-minute chunks or upload the whole show at once. I don't know. We'll see. But by and large, that was our show. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you join us next week. We don't really know what we're getting into next week. We don't have a format quite yet, so we can't do a next time for you.
Next time on PrinnyCast, we talk about stuff.
There we go. Excellent. See, we don't have to be particular. We can be very generic.
Very generic, and then that leaves it open.
Next week, we talk about games.
If there's something in particular that you would like us to talk about, feel free to leave us a comment, or you can email us. We'll have an email address set up for the show that we'll discuss in the next episode.
Neat.
So, all right. Well, this was PrinnyCast, first episode ever. Yay!
Woohoo! Victor, this is Chris and Mike signing out.
See you guys next time.